Hello and welcome. I am a storyteller, and this is one way to make your PCs fear a forest. In the world of Atlantica, Calamar is the largest island of the 4 Isles of Icaria. And geographically, Calamar, or at least Western Calamar, is dominated by a vast forest known as the Nachtforêt. And the Nachtforêt is a very dangerous place. Merchant caravans, for example, often require protection from mercenaries on Calamar, not only because of bandits and other dangers, but also because the alpha predator of the Nachtforêt is very dangerous and called the Calamar Drake. The Calamar Drake is generally brown in appearance with lighter colored spikes on their spines and tails, and they generally stand about 5.5 to 6 feet tall. And although they're wingless, they're very dangerous and clever hunters. Now on Atlantica, drakes are monsters who were created thousands of years ago in the past by the elder dragons when they went to war against the gods and giants. And the Calamar Drake specifically is not in every forest, far from it. In the world of Atlantica, the Nachtforêt is an especially dangerous forest, and the Calamar Drake serves as a great way to showcase that danger. And that's because, in part, they live in small packs, 2d4 in a pack, and they inhabit the forest and its surrounding environs, where they hunt, and in the winter they often live instead in small caves or burrows. Now, and they have a massive impact, not only on the forest, but on the humanoid civilizations on Calamar. And in part that's because even single Calamar drakes have been known to attack relatively large groups of individuals, as many as 10 or 12, a dozen people reporting being attacked by a single drake. And drakes will sometimes even stalk small caravans like this for days, weeks, killing travelers and horses one by one. With that said, they generally do prefer the wilderness and avoid civilization, unless they, find travelers like that on the roads. But occasionally, a pack of drakes will terrorize a village or a small town if it finds, a suitable lair that is too close to a humanoid settlement. And with that said, the Calamar Drake has none of the draconic urge to hoard hunger, but they do have, or to hoard treasure, but they have a great hunger. And if they are able, they will feed daily. They have a preference both for the flesh of intelligent humanoids as well as horses, and as a result of these preferences and their hunger, great bounties are generally placed on the pelts of these beasts, both by nobles and merchant companies, and even desperate communities being stalked by one or multiple. So bounties as high as 1,000 gold pieces per drake are not unheard of. So with that said, as far as they're getting a little more into the ecology specifically, they do inhabit the top predator spot for much of Calamar. And that does have a large impact on the ecology of the forest and the humanoid settlements. And some, often caravans have to hire mercenaries to stay safe, and some mercenary companies on Calamar even specialize in clearing areas of drakes. Now, as far as seasonally, the Calamar Drake in the spring can be very dangerous because it is often guarding their young. And if you encounter a mother drake with her young nearby, in the springtime, you're almost guaranteed a fight. In the summer, they're more often found near waterways where they might be keeping cool or having something to drink, or just hunting, waiting for something else to come near the water. In the fall, they're often searching for mates, and so they're more often alone. Males can be very aggressive in the fall because of that. And in the winter is actually the safest time to travel on Calamar because the Calamar Drake is generally not going to be found out except for in their lairs in the winter. They lair usually at the foothills of the Calamar Mountains or other large, burrows that they can find that are large enough to house them. And they wait out and hibernate in the cold winter in these lairs. So, with all that said, what exactly makes the Calamar Drake so dangerous? Well, if we take a look at the stat block, you can see a big reason is, they've got a hefty amount of hit dice, 7 for an average of 31 hit points. I have stats for both ascending and descending armor class. I, just as a preference, do not prefer to use Thaco, but the Thaco, for this creature would be 13 and its armor class of 3 using that system. Using the way I use it with ascending, it would be a +6 to hit and an armor class of 16 instead of 3 for the Thaco system. The Drake is fast. It can move 50 feet in a combat round or 150 feet in the wilderness. And it has the saving throws, level 4 saving throws, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, a morale of 9, which is slightly higher than normal, I think is 8. Chaotic alignment, number appearing 1d4 in the wild or 2d4 in a lair. And they generally do not have treasure, although, like I said earlier, they, do fetch significant bounties. And now, in addition to their attacks, the Calamar Drake has a bite, a very dangerous 2d8, and a sting from its spiked tail, which does 1d6 plus poison. That poison is deadly, and it can also be used as a breath weapon instead. Once per day, the Calamar Drake can use its breath weapon, a 30-foot cone of poison gas. Either that or a hit from the tail would require a saving throw versus poison, or the character would die. Now, it's difficult for the Calamar Drake to bite and swing its tail against most opponents. So for medium or smaller creatures, if it was faced with combat, it would either bite or swing its tail against a creature unless it had multiple opponents. If it was fighting 2 people, then it would bite one and swing its tail at another. Now, basically, that's going to be it. And what I want to get across here is the Calamar Drake helps reserve the Nacht Foray for campaigns for parties of adventurers of mid or high level, or at the very least, if they were lower level adventurers, characters who have gotten a bit of loot can hire their own followers and everything, and you'd want a large party in traveling through the Calamar Forest, the Nacht Foray, the forest on Calamar. And anyway, because I want the Nacht Foray to be dangerous, I feel it deserves an alpha predator like the Calamar Drake. And I think beyond that, your campaign, the dangerous locations of your campaign also deserve dangerous monsters. You should make your players fear the forest. Anyway, like and subscribe for more content like this, including more monsters, NPCs, classes, and maps, all of which are available for free at the World of Atlantica Discord channel linked below. Peace!